All right, what we're going to try to get done tonight is we've got all our valve assemblies pretty well sorted out on these units. We've got the valves all lapped into there with some grinding compound. And I got my son Dan, who's also a mechanical engineer, like the old man. And somebody pointed out to me, and you were down here with me when I did that. There was a scratch coming across here, and he was worried about whether or not that was actually a break. And we got a magnifying glass and determined that that was actually a scratch. And I think once we get these things under proper torque and what have you, with all of the head bolts on there, that the head gaskets will do their job, and I don't think there's going to be any problem there. Again, this motor is only going to produce at max. When it was new, they could only get 195 horsepower out of these. So it's a 2-bolt main, 283, so it's not going to have all that much. So I guess just let's get to it. What do you say we go ahead and put these together? I've got all the valves all cleaned up. These were freshly ground exhaust valves. And again, they're all lapped, and I cleaned a bunch of springs. Oh, this is something I can show you actually. On these, the tops of these, you see how that angles in that way? The amount of bearing surface is all but between my fingernails there. On this side, the bearer surface is, I think, a little greater. A little less, I mean, because that's the spread I have on those. So I took all these springs, and they are all oriented because of this being a little piece of tin that they've got up on top there to bear, and the actual keeper. I wanted the maximum amount of bearing surface up there, so I just put all the tops of those springs on there. Let's put them together, shall we? All right. So anyway, these guys are lined up exactly with where they were lapped, so we'll put those back in there at that side. You want to work on maybe the workbench over here, or what do you think would work best? And I'll get some tools out to do so. All right, so we got this up on the workbench. We're going to work up here, and what we're going to do is we're going to have Dan put these all together. I thought I had absolutely perfect valve stems on there. I didn't think there was any movement whatsoever, but bragging about it to Dan, he says, "Well, yeah, Dad, there is some movement in there. I don't know, maybe a thousandth or two, but." No need to do anything special with that. We're well within tolerance for what this is going to be in the form of a soft motor. So I got this up on the tool bench, got it all organized with the orientation of where the valves would come in here. And the way these get put together is you put the valve into the valve guide. And then we're going to run umbrella seals on this. Originally, this motor came with an O-ring that went on the bottom rill. I don't know if yeah, you can see that. The bottom rill, but we're not going to run those. We're going to run umbrella seals. And these are more important on the intake side than they are the exhaust. Because the exhaust, again, under pressure, if there's any movement of any fluid there, it's going to be out and away from that port, but putting the umbrella seal kind of helps seal that up a little bit on the exhaust side. But they're more important on the intake side, because this is all in a bath of oil up here, and your push rod has got oil that's coming up in through the push rod and help bathe the area. And you don't want that getting down into your intake, which is again under suction on that side, like we were talking about a little bit ago. And the umbrella seal is going to keep that from happening. So what we'll do on each of these is we'll take a set of the springs. They go over the valve. Then we also have a new set of keepers, and the way they do these keepers is this little keeper washer up top here is conical. And with that conical shape, there's a pair of, and I've got a new set of these here that Bob Schmidt from work gave me, of keepers. And each one has a pair of them that fit down in there once you compress the spring. With this tool here, we eventually got that set of wedges out. Yeah, we think we just learned a trick on this. And if so, let's see if it works well for us this time. Spring. Need a valve. Yep. We've been using a rocker knuckle, washer, whatever you want to call it, to go underneath the nut, and that's been a bit problematic for us. So anyway, what we've noticed is that the top side seems to be a little bit tighter on the spring. So if we can slide that top wedge, or toward the exhaust side of the head in, and then do the intake side afterwards. That last one went in real well. And, now we're seeing if we can get this one in, and sure enough, there you go. Not bad. That worked pretty good, didn't it, bud? Yep. Alrighty. I think we got a bit of workflow here. We may put you into fast mode. So again, we were talking about those ports before. You see how the exhaust side lines up on both the outsides and the middle, which works well with those, pretty much all your header designs. And these ports here are a little bit larger because these are being drawn into the cylinders by when the pistons are going down. So we want those as big as we possibly can get them to encourage the flow. And basically, we just take a die grinder after marking this with the intake gasket, and you just kind of flare that out to that edge to match where the intake gasket lines up on there. And get one out and show you what I was talking about. So you don't see a whole lot of silver on that because of all of the flaring that was done on this. So these things will actually be upwards of about 1/8 to maybe 3/16 of an inch off that edge. And we got them down to what is about 1/8 of an inch or so, or within 1/8. And everything just, like I say, on the suction side, on the intake side, will pull that in a lot smoother by porting those out. And just basically you're helping to increase the efficiency of the mass flow of the gas and the air going into the cylinder that way. All right. Let's take the other one and get after it. And just trying to match the valves up to the ports as they were lapped in there before. Sweet. So that's about all we can do tonight because we are waiting on a new set of rings. I told you the story on those rings. I got a standard set for this motor. Come to find out it was remanufactured. Thought it was maybe 30 over, but when I put ours in there, actually I checked it with a not a vernier caliper, a dial caliper, and it was about 40 thousandths over. I didn't think there was a 40 thousandths over, so I asked if maybe a set of 60 over rings would work okay. Asked a friend of mine about that, and he said no, there'd be too much stress on the walls of the block and everything if we did that. So ordered some 40 overs, and they'll be coming in next week, and I guess we'll go ahead and pump this video out with the heads being done and worry about changing out the rings and putting the lower half back together sometime next week after we get those rings in. So thanks a lot, folks. We'll catch up with you next time.